Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been quite a long time since I've actually sat down and made a video. I'm actually in a new house now, so the background probably looks totally different. But anyways, I thought why not sit down today and just do a look. And I kind of have been thinking about different looks for a while, but as you know, it's not just recording a video. It takes a lot of editing and all of that, and that process just takes a really long time, so I haven't really had that time. As you know, I am trying to get my bachelor's degree, so it's just been crazy. But I thought, why not? Let's just sit down and get into it, and we'll go from there. The look I'm going to be doing today is going to be created by the James Charles palette. And I know it's been really crazy all over the makeup industry, online, like everything. Everyone's been excited about it. There's pros, there's cons, but I'm definitely a fan for sure. And so this is what it looks like. And the lighting's kind of off, but there you go. So let me show you the inside, and I'm sort of just gonna kind of surprise you guys at the end of what the look is that I'm gonna do. So that's what, so far I've already moisturized my face, I've put primer on and all that. If you guys want a video on my entire process of like a skincare routine, I would be glad to do it, just let me know. But for today, I'm just gonna like hop on into my eyes. So let me go ahead and do my brows real quick, and then I'll be back. So I'm back and my brows are done. So next step is going to be to prime my eyelids. And for that, I'm going to be using, actually, so funny story, I got this eyeshadow primer for Christmas, and it really wasn't that much, so I was like kind of iffy if it would actually work or not. But this is the brand, is what it's called. It's called Catrice. And a lot of their products are actually really good, not just the eyeshadow primer. But this is what it looks like. And sorry, I'm working on a different camera, so I'm trying to get used to what it looks like. So for me, I sort of just like blend this, like I just cover my entire lid and like that. And then I just go in with a tiny little beauty blender like this. And I'm just gonna like blend my whole eye. And also want to mention that I did wet this brush or wet this beauty blender before I started blending. For me, it just makes everything blend in a lot easier. My skin is super dry, so I need as much moisturizer as I can get. So if I sort of wet in this, it kind of just helps that process out, so it's not just like trying to blend like a completely dry, patchy spot, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I have that blended in, and let's see. We're gonna get the James palette here. I'm opening it up. So right now, I think I'm gonna start off with the first color in the palette. Well, it just kind of depends how you look at it, but it's gonna be right here, this one right here, and it's called Canvas. And for me, I sort of just like to have like a nude base all over my lid before I actually start actually making it to where I can blend different colors, so it looks like really like so the transitions are really good. Okay, so this brush is from the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. I am obsessed with the brushes. They make blending so much easier, but this one is JH30, and it looks like this. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and put it on my brush, and then I'm just gonna put it all over my lid. And when you're doing this, using like a really fluffy brush for me is best. And I really just go over it a couple times to make sure that it looks good. And I'm just gonna take my mirror out of my Kylie palette real quick and make sure it's all blending really good. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing for the other eye. Okay, so now that I have that base on, I am gonna go and let's see. I'm kind of just winging it. I'm not quite sure what color I want to use next. And I apologize, I'm looking at the colors, or the names of the colors on my phone. Let's go in with this really bright orange called 518. I don't know what's on it. Okay, it's this color right here. Not this one. This one, my God. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit smaller brush just because I really only want to get this section of my eye right here. I don't want to get my whole lid. So I want like a sort of like more tinier brush. Okay, so I know this brush looks dirty, but it's just stained, so I'm sorry. But this one is also a Morphe by Jaclyn Hill, or whatever, and it's JH32, so with 518, I'm just going to dab that in there just a little bit, and just like this, there's really not that much fallout, so for me, I'm just going to go in with it. And for me, whenever I'm blending, I will go over it as many times as I need to make it all blended. Like, that's what you gotta do. So, that's pretty good for the moment. I'm gonna do the other eye. You don't wanna go in and just put like a crap ton of color because you wanna be able to make it like, this looks like you can build it. So a little bit at a time is just probably the best way to go, just so you know with like what you're working with. And I'm going like all the way around. For me, I just usually take my beauty blender and clean that up after I put on my concealer and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna make it just a little more intense, just right here. So whenever I do my cut crease, it is gonna be a lot more defined. And honestly, I've never done this look before so I have this sort of idea. I'm not quite sure what it's gonna look like, but I have an idea in my head, so I'm hoping it turns out just like I want it to. And I've never used the James Charles palette yet, so I've watched a bunch of different reviews and things, but trying it out for myself, this is the first time. So I'll let you know my honest opinions for sure. Okay, so now I have 518 all over my lid. And next, now I think I'm gonna go in with that color that I pointed to, sort of. It's this one right here. And this one's called, almost fell. I'm sitting on a rolling chair and yeah, okay. So this one right here. And this is color Rusted. So I'm actually gonna take the same exact brush and just kind of like clean it off on a towel, and I'm just gonna go back in, and I'm just gonna like go right under that orange color so it's like blending into the crease. So like that. And again, just a little bit at a time because these colors are really blendable, as I've noticed. And there's really not any fallout because like there's none, like if you can tell, like there's really none under my eyes right now. It's just like there's really none at all. But whenever you like, if you go like really deep into the pans, then yeah, it sort of is. But if you just lightly are going in and getting your color, then it's really not that bad at all. Okay, so now I have this color on. And let me tell you, these colors, they look awesome in the palette. Actually, on your eyes, they actually look really good, and they're neon, they're bright, they're not really patchy at all. They're really smooth. They're so easy to blend, so I definitely recommend that. Let's see. For the next color, let's see. I'm thinking let's go to the deeper red, and I'm just going to use the same brush again, and I'm just going to go in like right under that color that I just put. And so I'm going to use the color You Are Kidding, which is this one right here. And again, so I've realized that I really haven't been on YouTube, and there's really, I just haven't really had the motivation to actually sit down and make a video, but I really want to start making them again. I have been posting on my Instagram channel, which I will put that right here, and you can follow me on there if you want. I have been posting videos on there every so often just because it's super easy just to snap my everyday look and post it on there. But I really do want to start doing like videos on how I do my looks because I get a lot of questions about that. So I definitely want to help you guys out there. So that one I really didn't do too much. I just kind of added it a little bit because I really don't want to have too much red. I don't want to make it stand out that much. So now I think I'm going to use the color Escape. For this, we're going to use this. And I have wanted one of these brushes forever. It looks like a freaking unicorn horn. So who doesn't want this, right? So this one is pretty fluffy as well. It's not as big, or like it's not as big as the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe one, but it's a little smaller and it's really good with like blending, you know, good, whatever. It's hard to put it into words, but it's really good to help you blend. So this one, it doesn't really have a name. I got it at a convention, so I will try to figure that out if you guys want, but let me know in the comments if you do. So I'm going to use the color Escape, which is this one right here. And so now I'm just going to take a little bit of that and like barely any. And I'm just going to put it right at the end of my eye and just blend it up. Not a lot, just a little, build it up, because if you put too much, you're going to lose the color you just blended up above already. So I'm just going to go like this. Okay, see, just barely any, it gives you a little bit. And I actually think I'm going to go back to this brush, the JH32, just because I want to make sure it's like getting right in the crease before I start actually like blending it out. And at the moment now, I'm actually getting quite a bit on my brush, like that. And this, actually, I'm going to go all the way around, all the way, like that. But I want to go to the end corner of my eye. But I want to make sure it's blending, so you can tell it is. And actually for this darker color, I had to get quite a bit for it to actually go on. But other than that, it's working out really good. Okay, so far this is looking pretty dang good. I'm liking how it's turning out. So I'm just kind of like gonna go point this just a little, so we don't have any like sharp edges or anything. And for me, I always do the I do the top of my lid, and then after I do my concealer, I go in and do my bottom, because for me, after I do my concealer and I bake and all that, the color underneath is usually gone. So I wait to do that to the very end, and it actually gives it a better like effect. Okay, so now that I have this eye done, it looks pretty good. I like how it's looking so far. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye real quick. So it's looking pretty good so far. I'm really liking how it's coming out. So this is what it looks like so far. And I really think that it's turning out really good. I mean, it's blending great, so that's always a plus. So now I'm going to do a cut crease right across my lid, and then I'm going to go and do different colors on that to give it more of like a contrast. So now I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It is literally the best concealer. I've never had a concealer work for me because it's either not the right shade or it makes my skin flaky, because again, my skin is so dry no matter what time of year it is horrible, especially in the winter time. So I'm actually almost out, but I'm just going to take a little bit and I'm going to like just put it on my hand like this. And this is honestly, again, the best freaking concealer you can use to cover up your under eyes, and as you can see, mine are really, really dark, but it's also great for cut creases. And everyone's always like, oh my god, how do you get it so defined? How do you get it so, like, your colors aren't like mixed? And I'm like, Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Girl, you got to get it. It is the best. Although it is kind of pricey, it's $27 for one of these things. The color I'm using is Light Sand. And I mean, it lasts me about 2 months or so. It kind of just depends how frequently I'm doing my makeup. But it's about 0.3381 fluid ounces. But usually this entire thing is filled, so it does last you, just depending on how much you actually go ahead and do that. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and do my cut crease. So I'm back and I've done my cut crease. So now I'm going to go in with a super tiny brush. And it's actually the Morphe by Jaclyn Hill brush set again. This one is JH42. Looks like this. Little tiny brush. This is also what I use to do my cut crease. It's super tiny, it's super defined. It's a great choice. So now I'm going to go back in with the color I've already used, and it's going to be You Are Kidding. This one right here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to put that right at the corner of my eye. So I'm going to get super close so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I mean just a little bit. Just like that. And do that to the other eye. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with an orangey color so I can like transition it into a yellow. So I'm gonna go in back in, let's see, I'm gonna go in first with 518, and then I'm gonna go, or no, I'm sorry. First, I'm gonna go into Busted, and then 518, so I can like transition that into a really smooth, rainbowy looking effect. So I'm taking Busted right now, and I'm just going just like this, and I'm blending it with that red. Now I'm going to go in with 518. Okay, so now I've got that going. Now I'm going to go in with the yellow color, the brightest color in the palette. It looks like it's called Bee, like a bumblebee. Right here. This is what it looks like. It's pretty bright, so I'm excited. So now I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to go right next to 518 that I just did. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. I think it's looking really good. So now I'm gonna take the lime green color and put that next to it. It's called Social Blade. This one right here. I'm gonna take the same brush still. I'm gonna just go right next to it. First, I'm gonna go in with a lighter blue, and then, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go these colors, like this order right here, and then I'll tell you the names. So I'm thinking this one first, and then this one, and then this one, because I think that's gonna make it go like blend into the darkness better. So this color is Playground. This one is Brother. This one is Cola. So first I'm gonna do Playground, and I'm just gonna go right here, just like that. And I'm actually just gonna go back to the Social Blade real quick and just clean up where I put that blue. I'll probably go back to the yellow B as well, just so I can make sure that I'm covering all the concealer. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. I'm liking it. I really think this is looking good. So next, I'm gonna go in with the color Brother and blend that right here next to the blue. And then I'm gonna take the dark cola color and just kind of like blend that in. And then after I do all of this, I'm gonna go back in with this tiny little brush and I'm just gonna kind of like clean up around where I have that orangey color, the rusted color. I'm just gonna like go over to make sure that you can tell that I've added that. So after I've done that, I'm gonna go back in with Single. So I was using Escape all over my lid, this one right here, and now I'm gonna go and use this one. So now I'm just gonna like take this, go around, just to give it that like dark purpley effect. Okay, so right now this is what I'm dealing with. I really like it. I think it looks really good. So now I'm going to put on my concealer and then I'm going to do my under eyes and I'm back and I've had my concealer on, my foundation, all of that. I haven't baked or anything though. Hey, why not come back and just show you how I do my under eyes, because I know some people might be a little curious on that. So I'm actually going to go back in with the two orangey colors I started with is 518, and I'm just going to kind of bring this down like this. Just like that. And then I'm going to go next to Rusted and bring that down as well. And just blend that all under my eye. And if it gets like a lot under there, don't worry, because you can always like go back in with your beauty blender and like sort of like push it back up. And with the dark purple color, Rusted. And I'm just gonna, from this little blended, kind of looks like a tail. Sorry, excuse my allergies. I'm just gonna go back in and blend that under my eye. So it's sort of messed up, but I can fix it. So just like that, and then I'm gonna take in this fluffy brush that I was using and just like blend that darkness and make sure that it's not like chunky looking. So this is like the end result, sort of. It's not completely done, but so now I'm just gonna like take that lighter color purple and turn it the Single color and just go under my eye still. And then like how I did up here and I blended the colors, I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna take the blue colors Brother and Cola and just sort of go I'm actually gonna take Playground as well. So let's see. Let me do that really quick. You know, you always make the weirdest freaking faces whenever you're doing this. So now I'm gonna go back in with the purple color and just blend and blend and blend and blend and blend until it looks good. So that's looking good so far. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Cola and Brother and just kind of like go right here. Now I'm going to go in with the playground color. I'm going to go in with Social Blade and a little bit of Daddy. I'm just going to go in closer to the crease, just a tiny bit. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to add the yellow like in my crease right here. So this is like a really fun color. I'm gonna take my baking powder real quick. This is right here. Oh my gosh, so Ulta was having their 21 days of beauty sale, and I kind of went crazy, and they had the Dermablend setting powder on sale, so, you know, I had to get some. I had to figure out if it was actually as good as some of the reviews I read were saying, so now I'm just gonna like put this under my eye like this. But not too much because you don't want to like take away all the color you just did. But for me, after I do this, I actually go back in and I clean it back up with the color. Going with JH30, and I'm just gonna take the 518 and I'm just gonna like go like this. Okay, so now you've done that. Now I'm gonna go back in with an even little tinier brush. It's actually Morphe and Jaclyn Hill as well. And this is JH39. It's a little tiny thing. And I'm going to go in with, let's see, the blue color Playground and just kind of go back over it. And I think that kind of covers that. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of yellow. And I've heard that Right Light in this palette is super, super bright. This one right here. I was like, alright, okay. So let's see if it's as bright as I've heard. I'm gonna use the same brush I just did. I'm just gonna like go in circles with it. Now I'm gonna put it in the crease and we'll see how bright it is. Okay, I'm liking it. It sort of like lightens up like the dark color that like kind of forms in your crease that the concealer can't really get. Okay, I really actually love that. Yes, you could actually probably use this as a highlighter if you wanted to. I am feeling pretty good about this. I don't know what you guys think, but definitely tell me in the comments. So if you like this video, I can post more just like it. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoy it. I just put on some lashes so you can kind of see like my glue, but that will dry. So I just kind of want to show you with like a really bright light on it, my flashlight, and just kind of show you like what it actually looks like. I really enjoy this look and I'm feeling it. I really am. So tell me what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. So have a great Friday and a great weekend. Bye.